welcome to my Deus Ex Mankind Divided review. I'm not sure what to call it. I'm trying to be fancy and call it P/review because I have not finished the game, unfortunately. However, I have put about 25 hours into the game, so I feel like I know enough to definitely preview the game, but I also know enough at this point to give it a full recommendation. I feel weird calling it a review though without fully playing the game. It's a weird Britism, so this is how I'm dealing, this is how I'm coping. So Mankind Divided is the sequel to Deus Ex Human Revolution, and if you're like me and you have not played Human Revolution, there is a 12-minute optional video that you can watch at the beginning of Mankind Divided that will kind of catch you up on all of the events that took place in Human Revolution. I was on the fence whether or not I wanted to watch it because I actually had been planning to play Human Revolution, and then I got my code for Mankind Divided, and then that plan just kind of went to shit. But anyway, yeah, I felt totally up to date. I felt like I knew what had happened because of this 12-minute video. So if you're worried about not knowing what you're getting yourself into, there is the video. However, I also want to say that even without the video, I think the game has done a pretty good job at not making you feel like you don't know what the hell's going on. They're very subtle, like little mini history lessons scattered throughout the game, but it's not annoying, it doesn't feel forced. So I think you can jump into the game regardless of if you've played Human Revolution or not. So while I have not finished the story of Mankind Divided, I feel like I've played the game enough to know whether or not it's good and fun and entertaining and worth $60 and all that good fancy stuff. And I can tell you without a doubt, I think it is beyond worth the $60 because even though I'm only like, I don't even know how far I am into the actual story. I might only even be 25% of the way in. And there's a good reason for that. That is because I have been so absorbed in the side quests and the gameplay and the exploring and the hacking and like the secret squirreling and reading people's computers and emails that I am just totally obsessed with Mankind Divided. And so the 25 or so hours that I put into the game have just been in the past like 3 or 4 days. So I'm freaking binging, and I'd rather be playing that right now than making this video, but alas. So even as someone who's not good at stealth, I find myself like super duper into and like I said earlier, absorbed into Mankind Divided's gameplay. You know, you can, if you wanted to, go balls to the wall and like if you're in a complex and try to kill everybody with your multiple weapons and all of your ammo, sure, you can do that. It's not like I don't know what the word is. I feel like the gunplay and the gameplay is a lot more difficult, it's a lot more tactical, it's a lot more realistic. You know, you don't have that much health and the enemies do shoot a lot and they will hit you. So it's not like you can just go in guns a-blazing. That's my tendency, and I learned the very hard way that you cannot do that. So that's what kind of forced me into trying to do some stealthy things. And that's when I started learning that I really love like crawling through air ducts and air vents and, you know, using my stun gun and using my tranq ammo for my rifle instead of actually killing them. It gives me a sense of like good, and I think the reason why is because I want to turn my character, my Adam Jensen, into an augmented person that has a nice big heart. I feel like I completely derailed, but I'm just like so excited talking about this game. Point being, if you suck at stealth like me, no worries, you will be able to enjoy it and you will have fun and you will be very proud of yourself because the game does make it easy for newbies like me and you, if you're a newbie like me, to get around and feel like you're being a stealthy secret squirrel. And it's really fun. And like I said earlier, you know, there's all these like computers to hack, and so hacking, let's talk about hacking. Can you tell I'm just like talking on a whim because I'm so excited? So during your time with Mankind Divided, you will come across many terminals, computers, security systems, all these things, and you can hack them if you wish. Now, if you do, chances are you will obtain important information, behind the scenes info, or more importantly, you'll be able to access and use the facilities, depending on where you are, security system for your own good. You can turn off friendly fire, you can make robots attack your enemies, you can do all sorts of really cool stuff, or if you want to be a stealthy secret squirrel, you just turn off all the security measures and then you can kind of go do your own thing and hope that the bad guys don't see you and start shooting you. Yeah. The act of hacking itself is a fun little mini game where you have to capture all of these data nodes to eventually get to the green node. It has an actual name and I'm just completely blanking on what that is right now. But, you know, you have level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 skill level. 1, 2s are relatively easy. I mean, actually, they're very, very easy. And then as the higher you go, like levels 3, 4, and 5, they get much more difficult, and then you will have to implement certain buffs that you find searching drawers and cabinets and on desks that you'll find scattered everywhere, or you can buy them. And these buffs help you get through the hacking. It'll either make your hacking go quicker, it'll reveal firewalls, which if you trigger will set off an alarm, etc, etc, etc. So the hacking is a very fun game. It's one that I had no experience with whatsoever, but I just kind of learned through trial and error. And if you don't like hacking and you want to go about things the easy way, you can use these things called multi-tools, and they will hack anything for you. They're not super easy to come by, but you can craft them and you can buy them for a pretty penny. Another thing I really appreciate about Mankind Divided that I haven't dabbled into too much yet because I'm not super far in the story is the fact that you do get to make decisions on behalf of Adam Jensen, and you do get to mold and shape the story depending on what you do and what you say and how you treat people and all that fancy stuff. For example, in one of the very first missions, you have the main mission is to save something. I won't say what it is, but then there's an optional mission to save a person. You don't have to do it to complete the main mission, but if you do it, something good will probably happen, and then the rest of the story and certain dialogue trees will reflect if you save that person or if you did not save that person. So, I mean, it's nothing new. We've seen it in games, especially games like BioWare, you know, Dragon Age and Mass Effect and blah, 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 but it's still appreciated. And I feel like the game does a really good job at honoring and reflecting the decisions that you made in dialogue and story things and all that good stuff. I also love exploring the city, and like I said earlier, most of my time in Mankind Divided has been spent on exploring and discovering new things and side quests and blah, blah, blah. But one of my favorite areas to explore are the apartment complexes, because in these apartment complexes, there are obviously apartments and everything is kind of like interconnected. And so there, if you see like a room that you can't get into, chances are if you go into like a room across the street, there's gonna be like a ventilation shaft that you can crawl through. And that's another thing about Mankind Divided I really love, is that there's always more than one way to achieve a goal. And so if you, like I said, it goes much further than if you want to go in guns a-blazing or stealthy squirrel. There's other vents and other ways you can climb up and do things. So that's really cool. There's always different ways to do stuff, and that is always appreciated, because if you're failing miserably at one way, you can just go around and do another thing. But anyway, yeah, so I love searching the apartment complexes because each apartment is so vastly different than the others. Like, maybe the layouts are pretty similar, but each room tells its own story, and I think that this just goes to show how much detail is in Mankind Divided. You'll find an apartment that you can tell is a crazy cat lady's. You'll find one who you can tell is a fitness buff, or one who's a messy slob. And you'll search all these things. You'll like discover information and safe codes, and just, it's really fun, and that's what I got lost in doing. And the side quests as well are just amazing. I literally spent all yesterday morning on one side quest. I had to infiltrate a building, and I just spent like, I think it was like 4 hours just exploring this building. As far as things that aren't so great about Mankind Divided, I will say I have experienced some frame stuttering, and that seems to be kind of universal across the board, just talking to the colleagues that I've talked to. The other thing I would say is the physics of the item manipulation. So in Mankind Divided, you get to go around and pick up things, and you can stack them, throw them, do whatever the hell you want. There was a point when I was trying to reach a ladder, like that was like, I don't know how tall it was. It was off the ground, and I couldn't reach it by simply jumping. So I tried to take a bunch of garbage dumpsters and pile them onto each other so I could hop up on those and grab the ladder. But unfortunately, every time I would try to stack them, for some reason, there was like a little mini earthquake just on the dumpsters alone, and they would like shake off of each other, and it didn't make any sense. So it's probably just a bug with the physics. Other than that, I would say that there's really not an issue. So yay, at least what I've encountered yet. I mean, the truth is, you guys, it says a lot that I'm so obsessed with this game, and I'm not even that far into the story. I'm just so into gameplay right now, and generally I'm a story person, not really a gameplay person, but Mankind Divided does such a good job at making you feel just like super satisfied and like a badass, and like you're actually talented when you're playing this game and you're doing your thing. And I feel like I should also mention that when you are given a review code and the turnaround is pretty quick. For me, it's super quick because I'm actually heading out of town and I don't have as many days as most other reviewers have to finish the game, draft the review, and all that kind of good stuff. So yeah, you feel like an urge to cram as many hours into it every day as you can, and that's why I've been so quiet on social media and been so quiet on my blogs, because I've been literally spending all of my free time playing Mankind Divided. And the beautiful thing, and this is my ultimate point, is that I'm not sick of the game. I don't feel forced to play. I'm not like sitting there like, oh god, another boss, or like, oh god, another facility, or another side quest. Like, I'm legit excited every time I get something that takes me away from the main story, because it means there's more game to discover, and it's good, and it's fun, and I'm just all about it. So yes, although I have not finished the game yet, and although I'm not very far into the story, I can say that even if the story at this point were to go completely wayside and suck balls, I would still feel like I got my money's worth had I spent the $60. Granted, this is a review code, so for me, I didn't have to pay anything, but even in the 25 hours that I've spent, it totally would be worth it if I had spent that money. So take that for what you will, and I hope this was informative. I hope it was informative, and because I've just kind of been blabbing, and this was totally off the cuff. But if you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. And yeah, guys, thanks for watching.